Autobots, transform! And knowing is half the battle. No. I am the father. No, oh, you can.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Masters of the Retroverse. I'm host Adam. With me again is Mr. Man-at-Arms, David. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? How are you?
Oh, man. I am relieved after all the bullshit we went through to get this, but I like it. I like it, man. I think we've all got the kinks worked out for the most part, and ready to get on with the show.
It was unbelievable, the struggles.
Yeah, it was, man.
Yeah.
Yep, we had a little test run the night before last, and it was a disaster. But
It was horrible.
that's all right, man. That's what podcasting is all about. Trial and error, buddy.
Yep. We'll figure it out. We are figuring it out.
Yeah, you know, this whole video thing is new to me, new to you, and working it out. It's all good, man. So how you been?
Good. Now that we worked through those struggles we had on Friday night, I'm doing good, man. I've been kind of just getting my stuff together. I got me a hard line running out here to where we need to be, and we're gonna do it big.
Hell yeah, yeah.
So.
You bet, man. We've got some exciting stuff this week. You've got a new toy you're going to unbox. You didn't unbox it already, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, cool. So you've got something that we're going to do. We're going to unbox. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the stuff coming that was announced on the SDCC, San Diego Comic-Con. We got some news about one of my favorite movies as a kid coming back as a sequel, essentially. And you've got some stuff to cover in the He-Man line. It's going to be good, man. It's going to be a good show.
Yeah.
So
let's get into this, huh?
All right, yeah, man. Let's start with you. What do you got? You were talking about the new He-Man vinyl figures.
So me and my son, we went out yesterday. We obviously wouldn't have talked about this on Friday's show, but tonight, Sunday, since we can cover it, we can. I actually I didn't know that they had them yet. He-Man's sort of making more of a comeback again. Yeah, it's 2017, and to see He-Man on the shelves of these big box stores, nonetheless, like, you know, Toys R Us and stuff like that, it's surprising to see. So we actually ran across some of them those little vinyl figures, the mystery figures, and we were gonna pick some up, but I'm going to wait off. I'm going to hold off. I'm going to pick some up. I want to pick a whole case up. So I have an addiction to He-Man, and we all know this. But they have the mystery vinyl figures of He-Man. And then they all...
Nice.
Yeah. So you don't know what character you're going to get or whatnot like that. They don't come in the little bags or whatnot. They're coming in the boxes like the other one, like Transformers. And I've seen Transformers. I think there's some Star Wars ones out there. There's a couple other companies that are doing the same thing. It's like a surprise, you know. But you got to collect all of them, and they come out in waves, and they're only released for a certain amount of time, and that's it. That's all you're getting. So these are the first ones of the He-Man ones that I saw. And when we were in the checkout lane, I got my buddy Brian texting me back. He just said, "Yes, I am addicted." So he's obviously listening. What's up, Brian? We were in the checkout lane, and no crap found a little He-Man character, like Lego type action figure. I got Skeletor and He-Man. So we're gonna put these together later tonight, I believe, and then we're gonna put them up, save them, put them on a shelf behind me. I think actually my collection's grown a little bit too much. That I think this guy behind me has got to come down, get some shelves over that way, because everything you can't see in the video, I'm like, is He-Man. I got a lot of He-Man stuff. So, yeah.
Got to make way from your old hobbies for the new hobbies, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I found that out too, man. I've taken a lot of guitars down off the wall to make room for my Toy Biz X-Men guys and my He-Man and my Nintendo stuff. So, you know, I don't know, just gotta give and take, I guess, a little bit.
It is.
It's all good.
Yeah, just to have, I don't know, just to have the things that, like, they're. I know we're not talking about it yet, but the stuff I have in the future of this podcast right now, like, I'm really happy about that, to see toys like this come back out again. And I saw this and I was like, you know what? Gotta have it. Not even like, it's amazing, you know, like we were talking the other time about like how your kids and my kids, like their toys are just not the same. Like they're not built to the same quality. Well, this company and these guys, I think, I don't know, we'll find out in the unboxing, but I think they're the path.
So those vinyl figures that you were talking about, where did you see those at? Like Target or
They were at
Walmart?
Toys R Us.
Toys R Us. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to check Target because we don't have a Toys R Us really close by to us. So
Okay.
I'll see if Target has those or Walmart or something like that. But that'd be kind of cool. Each week maybe we can get one and unbox it live and see what we got. And then if I get doubles, I'll just give them to my kid. You know.
Well, that's happened. They were actually selling the Mario, but the Mario was in little plastic guys, right? They were in the little plastic containers. So it was like a little bag, and it felt like the Lego guys, the mystery Lego guys, same concept. We got him, and Hayden's like, yeah, Dad, this one's not this one. He's like, I was like, okay, we have 7 here. We're gonna get 3. They're only $1.99 a piece, but I already knew our bill going to the register was pretty high. I didn't want any higher, so instead of having 7 bags, $14, you know, we went up to the register with only 3 of those bags, and Hayden was like, I'm pretty sure this one's this. I'm like, well, one of these is Yoshi, you know, and he's like,
You could feel it in the bag.
yeah, you get to feel it in the bag. You like feel it, you kind of guess what it is or whatnot. And he grabbed his. He grabbed the one with the most pieces, and I was like, you know what that is? I think that's Bowser, because there was just so many pieces in the bag, and it was like 4 big pieces that felt like a shell if you put it together. And nevertheless, it was Bowser. And then the one I picked, I was like, this one's Yoshi. Let's get this one. And then he got one. He's like, I think this is Fireball Mario, Firepower Mario. And we got in the car. We were down in Wilmington. And we got in the car, and I was like, you know what? I can't wait. Let's open these little bags up and see what we got. And it was Bowser, Yoshi, and Yoshi.
Oh man, nice.
Yeah.
You feel like a kid at Christmas, you know, when you pick up the presents, you're shaking it, and you're feeling it, and you're like, oh, this is gonna be, you know, this is Battle Cat, I'm pretty sure.
Right? I think that's the allure of the mysterious figure. Even though it's not a huge figure or anything like that, like you're like, and then you only spend $1.99. But there are some up there that are like $15. You know, there's some.
Wow.
The He-Man one they're $11.99 a piece. They weren't cheap.
Oh my god.
They were more expensive than the Lego little figure type. Actually, these things are bigger than the vinyl ones that they had in those boxes. So.
You said those He-Man guys are bigger though, right? They're.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're good. They're good. You stack 3 or 4 of those vinyl figures together, they're good. This one, like, he's so big that he actually has his staff and all that. I don't know if he can.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
That's the whole figure. He has his staff. Like, you put his staff together, you put everything together, and he's pretty big. And he comes with, like, he actually has 165 pieces. You know. People are like, "Oh my God, you opened it!" Yeah, I opened it. Like, it's the fun having it sit there. Like, if I think it's gonna be a collector's item, I'll fucking buy another one. Like, I'll figure it out. But yeah, there's 5 bags of shit inside of this thing, and the controller and the manual, with like it's very illustrated. Inside the box is like it's like actually drawn on the inside of the box. The whole inside of the box has has He-Man. It has all the different characters. So there's right now currently they have I want to say 25 characters that they make like this. Not of just He-Man, just for He-Man, it's only He-Man, but they have Spock, Master Chief from Halo. They have Ezio from Assassin's Creed. They have the Guardian, the T-800 from Terminator. Like this.
Oh, that's really cool, man.
This company is pretty cool, man. It's not a Lego company at all either. So,
What's the name of the company?
It's called Kubros.
Okay, Kubros. Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to I'll have to keep an eye out for those. That's really cool. You know, those blind boxes and the blind bags, man, they've really become a big thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of YouTube videos, and my son's always watching YouTube videos. And in fact, we've done some. My son and I have a YouTube channel where we talk about like toys and some of the stuff that we've gotten from the toy shows. And we've done a couple of those blind bag openings and stuff. Dude. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
pretty neat.
It's pretty awesome.
I don't think those are really going to be meant to be collectibles because it's not like you can keep them in the box, you know, because you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So.
Because there's okay. So for instance, we're talking about the He-Man thing. So there's one character in the He-Man series that I noticed. It has a picture of all of them. There's I don't know exactly. I think there might be 10, but I know Triclops is on there. Triclops is on there. Jesus, there was, oh my gosh. So Man-at-Arms is obviously one. I didn't see Orko. Jesus, man, I can't remember. I wish I would have wrote it down. I should have wrote it down. Skeletor. There's maybe 10 guys total that you could possibly get. But the number one guy, like the hardest to find, it even said rare in the company writing. So not like somebody being like, oh, this is a rare figure. It was a gold He-Man. He was all gold, just He-Man.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Although I don't know about a company labeling something as rare because it's kind of making their own. They're making their own hype. Yeah, it may be limited or something like that. But usually the rarities is left to the collectors, you know, the end users, the consumers, I guess.
But if they make 100,000 of each one, right, and then they only make 100 of the gold one, yeah, the company it was a force driven by the company, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and the Golden Ticket, right?
Right.
So maybe if you got the gold one, maybe there's something deeper into that like you end up you show the company that you got the gold one, they'll give you the whole line. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, a lot of times the rarities aren't really made to be rarities. You know, like if you look at some of the more rare Nintendo games, there were kind of flaws. I mean, some of them were more rare because they didn't sell in the U.S. or they just didn't make any because it wasn't a great game or what have you. But I think a company labeling something as rare is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of shitty, really. You know, it's kind of like the whole thing with Nintendo only producing so many of the NES Mini, their NES Classic. You know, it's kind of creating their own demand for it, their own hype for it.
Right.
But,
right. Well,
but still, I mean, people are going to look for it. You know, they're going to look for those rarities.
Well, look at speaking about NES, you talk about rarities. The number one rarest game for Nintendo is the World Tour, right? And the only reason that game was made was for competition Nintendo players. They switched on the side, and the only way you can really get it, you can get the duplicates, the replicas, or whatever like that, the repos, and you get that, and you flip the buttons to where it needs to be, and you try to beat the world record, and then say the world record holders come back and be like, guess what? You didn't beat it on a regular game. So, or a game that was actually that game. So I don't know. There's lots of different ways to look at it. And for companies to do that kind of shit, yeah, it's shitty, but it gives you something to try to look for. It gives you something to strive. Like maybe, yeah, I'm giving them my money to get this golden character or whatnot, but I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, and I don't think it's really going to be worth anymore. But you're going to look for it to collect it, and that's kind of cool. I mean, it's still going to appeal to the collector because that's what they're looking for, is those that are rare. But I don't really see something like the Funkos. You know, I don't really see those being like worth a ton of money, you know, like an NES game. I don't know. Just collecting in general is different for the older stuff than it is for the newer stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like, like look at for instance, look at the Xbox games. You know, like Xbox 360 games. Are there ever going to be people there and be like, oh my god, I paid $10,000 for this Xbox 360 game because it's so rare? You know, it's just the whole market has changed. So it's like now they have to produce these limited quantities or whatever to appeal to the collectors, I guess.
Yeah. So for a CD-ROM game, it would take so much for it to be worth anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a CD-ROM game will ever truly be worth in 20, 30 years. I don't know if that's a fair assumption.
Because I think because it's so easily duplicated.
Yeah.
You know, like, look at emulators now. You can have an emulator that has every Nintendo game ever produced, even the rare ones on it, and you can play those games.
Yeah.
Which you didn't have back in the era, obviously, of the NES, the Super NES, or even, you know, up until like the N64, you didn't have anything like that.
Yeah. The N64 at least is still cartridge based, so it's got that going for it.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, we could do a whole show about that, just that.
Yeah.
Alone.
And then we could get schooled by the one guys, what you call it, like the
guys from the CU podcast.
Houses, because they're technical savvy and they're ingenuical.
Ingenuity, maybe.
Prowess in there. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of like the vinyl figures, there was something new that came out that they revealed on San Diego Comic-Con.
Okay.
emanworld.com, and they've released essentially 4 new figures from the Funko line. Do you collect those at all? The Funko guys, the Funko Pop guys?
Oh man, I feel like that's a fidget spinner in my mind. I feel
it kind of is. It really kind of is. I've got one Funko, only because I just thought it was really cool, and that's the Space Marine guy from Doom, the game Doom.
Oh, okay, all right.
Because I was really big into Doom when it came out on Xbox One. I played the crap out of it, and I came across one. I actually bought 2, and but that's the only Funko guy that I've got. And they got some pretty cool ones, but they just never really appealed to me. They just seem like you said, they were like the fidget spinners, or they remind me a lot of like the Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
You know, it's like everybody's getting them, but they're not really going to be worth anything because they're only worth as much as somebody's willing to pay for it.
And that's when it comes to sentimental collecting.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the only other one that I would actually buy, and I've seen it before, I just don't want to pay $20 for it, is the Venom Funko. And it was like a Walgreens only special. Like it was only released to Walgreens. So it kind of makes it a kind of a limited special edition or whatever, which is really dumb. But there's one guy at the toy show that has a ton of those, and he's got one. So if I can talk him down to like $10 or $15, I would take it for that. But I'm not going to spend 20 on it. But anyway, they released Glow in the Dark Scare Glow from He-Man.
I've been watching a couple. Don't even get me started on him. All right, keep going.
Scare Glow? Okay. Well, these are all Funkos. They released Skeletor with Panther, which is really cool. That one's actually pretty cool. I think I wouldn't mind getting that one because the Panther is actually like the
You had me at Panther.
the old Panther. It's got that velvet kind of texture to it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And it's got a saddle and then the Skeletor. So you're kind of getting two guys for one.
Okay.
He sits in the saddle. So, and then for the ladies, if you grew up watching She-Ra, which everybody knows is kind of the spin-off of He-Man, they released a She-Ra Funko.
Just
So
her, or did they release her with her horse? With her
just her.
I guess it's horse.
Yeah. The only one that they've got is with the animal is Skeletor.
Not even He-Man. If you're gonna release Skeletor and Panther, you got to release fucking He-Man. And
Well, if you look, they've got He-Man, guys. They've already got He-Man out on Funko.
yeah.
But I'm not sure. Let me look it up here and see if they have him with Battle Cat. Or if they do or not.
Damn it, I was gonna bring my iPad out here.
Yeah, my internet's kind of lagging here a little bit.
Well, I got a text from my buddy saying that your audio and stuff's breaking up and your video's breaking up, but I'm coming through clean. So.
Okay. Well, it may just be on your end. It looks pretty decent. I am getting a little bit of feedback from your speakers, I think.
Yeah,
I can hear myself.
Yeah, I see the thing pop up every now and then.
So yeah, they do have the He-Man with the Battle Cat, just like the Skeletor, where he rides in the saddle. That's really cool.
Okay.
That one might be worth getting. Let me see what else they got here. They've got standalone Skeletor. They have Hordak and Spikor.
Hordak's important.
Yeah, they got Hordak as a Funko. So.
And we were talking about the movie, the He-Man movie. Like, I think, like, everybody's like, oh, you need to drive towards Skeletor, but like, I think Skeletor needs to be a looming enemy in that movie. I'm driving it towards a different direction. I apologize.
You're talking about the live action that they're.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
I think Hordak needs to be the main villain in the first movie, and then we move to Skeletor for a sequel.
I think it should be the other way around. I think they ought to do He-Man with Skeletor because you got the two legendary hero and villains, and then maybe on the sequel have He-Man and Skeletor team up against Hordak and his guys.
Maybe.
What do you think?
Maybe.
Yeah.
As I'm staring at Skeletor right now.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of cool. I mean, either which way they take it, I think it'd be. I really hope they do it justice.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, man. I was thinking about that earlier today. I'm like, how would we do this? Like, what would the storyline be? Because if you stayed true to He-Man, it would just be nothing, like I said earlier, but a PSA. Public service announcement.
Mm-hmm. And the moral of this story, kids, remember,
drugs.
Never take candy from a stranger.
If a big van comes up, don't get in it.
That was actually one of them on one that I watched recently. Because if a stranger approaches you or something like that, you know, Orko was talking, just run away.
Yep. So I got my ladders the other day finally for both of them, by the way. For
your Castle Grayskull?
And Snake Mountain. Snake Mountain came with a ladder as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm almost 100% complete. Just need a few minor details.
You got the weapons rack and all that stuff?
Got it. Nice. I got the collection of weapons, but here's the deal. They're a different color. They're a darker gray than the gray of the ladder and the weapons that I got originally with it. The mace and the big axe and stuff like that.
You think they're repops? Reproductions?
Yeah, they definitely are. If they're,
I think so.
Yeah, so like somebody should at least have the real stuff and like mixed a little bit of tan tone into the gray. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's all right. I only spent fucking 70 cents.
Well, and it's not like you're planning on selling this stuff, so who cares if it's a reproduction? You know, it's your collection. It's whatever makes it complete.
Yeah, because my flag is the same color as the original. Like on the last podcast, I told everybody that I spent a little bit more on one thing for it than anything else. And I don't care what you think. I want my Grayskull to fucking be 100% original and how it was when I had it when I was a kid. So, yes, I spent $30 on a flag with a sticker, a little piece of plastic with a sticker. Go ahead and look on eBay and try to find one any cheaper. So,
Well, that's like you were talking about the Skeletor groin cloth too. I mean, going for $20 or whatever the hell it goes for. That's ridiculous.
$12. It was $12 just for the waist and the groin protector.
God.
Yeah.
But there's people out there that if you want it bad enough, you're going to pay it.
Yeah, man.
So be it. It's all part of collecting.
Yep.
I mean, unless you want to hold out and wait and get lucky at some point in the next 20 years and come across one for next to nothing. But what's the chances of that happening?
Yeah, not slim to none.
Yeah.
So I think the main focus of this collection that I have going on right now is going to be towards like gear that I'm missing, i.e., the Zodak's fucking chest piece. I did see Spydor's grappling hook and chest piece on eBay. Grizzlor's actual crossbow, because I have them with a red one now because I have multiples of the red one.
Mm-hmm.
Getting the mace, another mace for Mossman. Stinkor's chest piece because I don't have Stinkor's chest piece at all. Just like, fine tuning the collection is where we need to go from here, I think.
Yeah, there was one guy on one of my He-Man groups on Facebook that he had a bunch of weapons and stuff, and he had 2 of the white crossbows.
I need one, yeah, because of my.
Yeah, and I asked him about it. I said, you used to have those for sale, and he said, yeah. And then I asked him how much, and he never got back to me. So I'll try hitting him up again and see, because I was just going to take both of them just for the hell of it.
Yeah, because you got a Hordak too, right?
No, I don't, but eventually I'll probably get one.
Okay. Yeah.
Or give it to you. I mean, if you want it, I don't.
I need this white crossbow. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't.
Yeah.
Cape. I looked all over the internet. I couldn't find him with his cape, and then I was looking for Hordak characters or whatever, and I found one Hordak character with cape. The only thing is like, so when you're buying off of eBay, it's like with my Skeletor. Came out of the box and it just smelled so bad. It smelled like it was a fucking ashtray, man. Like I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's like whoever, like, I can just imagine him living in a trailer, like having a whole bunch of He-Man characters or something, sitting there smoking cigarettes and crap.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's you figure these things have been in people's basements for the last 20, 30 years, and who knows what kind of environment they've been in.
Yeah, I definitely need Skeletor a warm soapy bath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and that's one thing you got to be careful of too, man. You got to watch how you clean those.
Yeah.
Jordan Pembroke, the guy, he's the toy hunter, has got the TV show.
Yeah.
He's got a good video on YouTube that shows how he cleans all of his toys, and it's basically nothing more than I think it's just like baking powder and water, and he just takes a very light toothbrush and just cleans them up. So
how are things going on our? Do we have any feedback yet? Do we need to answer any questions?
Honestly, I haven't been monitoring the YouTube, so I've got too much going on my computer here right now.
I know we need to fix you up now, man. Now that I got a
Well, actually, I do have. Hang on a second, because I can pop this up and see if there's anything on here. See if that'll.
Does anybody
It's not.
questions or anything like that?
Let's see if this will work without crashing my computer, because I can actually put the box up in my top right corner here
All right.
of the chat.
Yeah.
But
What you've done,
it's,
you're speaking and your videos come through a little bit more clear now. So.
Is it?
It is.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah. That chat thing's not working right now, so I'll let you monitor the chat if you can.
All right. I don't know how to do it. Talk me through it.
Just go to
YouTube.
Oh crap! I don't know if. Well, just go to your YouTube and pull up the video,
All right, let me do that.
and just make sure you mute it, and then you can just watch the chat from there.
You still see me right here? Hold on.
Yeah, I can see it.
YouTube. All right, I'm pretty like we're super new at this.
That's all right.
Going from here, let's see here. Retroverse, masters of the Retroverse.
So I'm really stoked about the toy show, man. I cannot wait. It's just been. It seems like it's been forever since I've been. It's been. I don't think I've gone to the last two, so it's probably been about 6 months since I've been. So I've got this whole list of stuff that I want to get. I got a good chunk of change saved up, and I'm gonna go crazy trying to play catch up, But I've got a list of specific stuff that I'm looking for, and like I said on the last show too, send me a list of stuff that you want, that you're looking for, and I'll try to look up some pictures and stuff of it too, so I know just at a glance what I'm looking for, and I'll see if I can find some of this stuff for you.
Okay, I'm not seeing the.
You're not seeing it?
It'll probably maybe let me do it from my phone. I don't know. It's not pulling up here because I'm not logged into YouTube on here. So.
Oh, okay.
Let's do that. Phone may be easier.
Yeah.
So. Does it even?
But yeah, so a little bit of background, a little bit of behind the scenes stuff for the podcast. We are, besides doing the YouTube thing live now, obviously we're on iTunes as usual. We are now on Google Play. So if you're an Android user, you can find us on Google Play. I'm still working on Stitcher at this point. I think they kind of kissed my ass because apparently I got something in my mouth. Apparently a lot of people have been having issues, and I think a lot of it has to do with they're gearing more towards like a paid subscription to get your podcast on their website. And honestly, I don't think I ever really got enough, even with all the other podcasts that I've done, I don't think we got enough traffic through Stitcher to really make it worth it. Seems like Stitcher's kind of dying off. So, but I'm glad we got on Google Play because that's going to be big. And obviously we're on Facebook. You're doing the Facebook Live thing right now, right?
No, I'm not because out of the draw.
Or you were though, right?
I did the last episode, and I think that's what made me end up getting kicked off. And
Gotcha.
I'm just kind of monitoring the YouTube channel right now.
We're going to work out a way to where when we go live, even if it's just for the first 10 minutes or so, we're going to try to figure out how to put our Hangout, Google Hangouts thing on Facebook Live, so that way you can interact with us there. Also, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel because you'll get notifications when we do go live, and you can join us and chat.
Yep.
And ask questions and just kind of interact with us. It's a good time. We haven't really been promoting the YouTube Live thing a lot lately, just because we're still kind of new at it, working out the bugs. Once we get everything worked out, then we'll just spread the word everywhere. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on here with the podcast. I'm excited as to where it's gone. I'm glad to have David on board with me to help this thing grow, and it's going to be fun. We're going to do interviews. Still going to get my kid on every now and then, probably. I think it'd be kind of cool to get our kids on for a show, together, and do a little show. I think that'd be kind of fun. So you'll get a lot of what the stuff I used to do, and then plus some. We're going to get guest host on with like my buddy Brian Mock from ZPOC Nation. We'll have him on sometime soon. So if you're a big toy collector or retro video game collector or anything like that, just hit us up on Facebook, or you can email us at motretroverse@gmail.com, and we'd love to have you on. We'd love to get you on for an hour and talk to you, and just it's always fun just to kind of brag about what you got anyway, even if you're not like a hardcore collector. It's just fun to talk about this stuff. That's what we're here for.
It's good to reminisce.
Yeah, it really is. That's what this show is about. You know, 80s, 90s kids reminiscing, talking about the stuff that we love. I know we've been really heavy on the He-Man stuff here lately, but that's just kind of the way it worked out. But we're not exactly He-Man centered on the show. We talk about everything. I mean, like today we're going to talk about actually our top 5 movies, favorite movies from the 80s, and you know, anything 80s, 90s, movies, music, toys, video games, anything.
Yep.
We love it all. So, because we're middle-aged guys, and you know, we're hitting that middle-age crisis, midlife crisis thing. So,
Yeah, just a little bit.
it happens, man. It happens.
A little bit. Yeah.
So,
I have multiple midlife crises in this facility, this 16-foot by 28-foot facility that I'm in right now. There's plenty of middle-aged crisis in here.
that's all right, man. It happens. That's what it's all about. We all go through it, and you know, it's funner. It's more funner. God, listen to me. It's more fun to live in the past sometimes than it is to live in the present.
Words, Adam. It's fun to make up your own words. Just roll.
Roll with it.
Yeah. So what makes it entertaining?
So speaking, oh my God, listen to me. I can't even talk today. Talking about movies.
Right.
This was something then, and this is going to kind of roll into our top 5 favorite movies from the 80s.
Yep.
One of my favorite movies, and it is on my top 5, and I'm not going to tell you where yet. Big Trouble in Little China. If you remember that movie.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah. It's getting a sequel, kind of.
Find this stuff, man.
I know. It is getting a sequel, and it's coming out in, I think, September, I believe.
That Kurt is making an appearance in that motherfucker right now. You better tell me that.
Well, here's the thing. It is it's going to be an animated series.
That's not
But it's co-written by John Carpenter. Okay. And the synopsis, it's going to revolve around Jack Burton's final ride in the Pork Chop Express. So if you remember his semi-truck that he had, and the Pork Chop Express, I remember at the end of the movie, spoilers, but if you haven't seen this movie, it's fucking 30 years old, go watch the movie. But at the end, it shows that monster, you know, on the back, or was it on the top, I think on the roof of the trailer of his big rig.
Can I add in something?
Sure.
Just want to say, I don't know if it's true or not, but I swear to God, this movie is how they made Raiden from Mortal Kombat. This movie. I agree,
and I really think that is. And in fact, I'm not going to swear to it, but I'm pretty sure that I read somewhere that is where they got the idea for it. Because, I mean, God, that guy wearing the big hat and the lightning coming out of his fingers and shit. Oh, my God. I love that movie.
That dude that didn't stop eating.
Yeah. So here, I'm going to read you the plot synopsis and tell me what you think. It says, the year is 2020 and hell is literally on Earth. Ching Dai, sick of relying on screw-ups like Lo Pan to do his bidding, has broken the barriers between Earth and the infinite hells and declared himself ruler of all. 60-year-old Jack Burton is alone in a tiny corner of Florida with only his broken radio to talk to, until one day it manages to pick up a message. Someone out there is in the hellscape, and they know a way to stop Ching Dai. So it's basically Lo Pan's boss, whoever the hell that is.
He's sitting next to Ash from Evil Dead in Jacksonville, Florida, ready to kick some ass.
Oh, that would be cool as shit. That would be really cool. The article goes on to read that there's, at this time, they don't really know a whole lot more about. It's going to be called Big Trouble in Little China, Old Man Jack, which is kind of a nod to, I think, Old Man Logan, you know, the whole Wolverine thing. But it says Borderland 2's Anthony Birch. I'm assuming he's probably one of the writers for Borderland 2, maybe. I'm not sure if he's maybe a writer or an animator. He's going to co-write the series with John Carpenter. Now I'm looking at the picture, and the artistry, whatever you want to say it, does have a strong resemblance to like what you see in like the Borderland games. It's kind of that what do they call that, cell shade animation kind of, but yeah. So I think that'd be really cool. How cool would it be to have that as a video game? That would be freaking awesome.
Right there.
So, but they're saying, yeah, and they're just saying that the September sometime is when it should, I'm guessing, release.
Okay.
So,
well, it sounds like it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to see how this pans out. You know.
Yeah.
Big Trouble in Little China was probably one of my favorite movies. It wasn't in my top 5 like it was yours. Thought about it. I contemplated. But you know me, I go a little bit more. So.
Yeah.
We're joined now by my boy right here. Sitting in the chair.
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
No way. He's not mic'd up, so you can't hear him.
No, but he can wave.
Yeah, he did. He's all like, I'm on camera now. I don't know what's going on.
That's awesome.
Brought a little Lego toy. I guess he just made this. Wanted to show it to me.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
His own Bumblebee creation. Am I correct in that?
Nice.
We watched all of the Transformers today. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Except for the new one. That's what we were building up to.
Oh, that's cool. So, the show topic is going to be our top 5 favorite movies from the 80s. And let me tell you, this was a hard list to make. Because there was so many movies that I loved from the 80s. You know, you had your the popular movies. You know, you had like Ghostbusters and the Terminator movies and all that stuff. So trying to weed out all these and narrow it down to my top favorite 5. I pretty much just sat back and said, what were the 5, like just the first 5 that come to mind that I remember sitting down and watching over and over and over again. And that's how I created my list.
Okay.
So.
Right here. Mine right here.
All right. Well, you want to start with your number 5?
Or my number 5. Okay. So my number 5 was The Little Monsters.
Was that the one with Fred Savage?
Yes, it was, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
And Howie Mandel.
Oh, that's right. He played the monster. That's right.
Oh, whoa. I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know what we're doing, but sounds good. Let's do it. Let's go.
They couldn't have picked a better person to play that role.
Yeah, he's like, whoa, you like my jacket? Got it off the stiff. Like.
I remember when that movie came out on video, and I went to the grocery store because that's where we rented our videos from, and I wanted to get a scary movie, and my stepsister would not let me. She wouldn't let me get one.
That sucks.
So she said, "Well, here, try this instead." I'm like, "Oh, it looks kind of dumb. It's not really doesn't look really scary." So I rented it,
right,
and I loved it. Wasn't scary, but
it
was still pretty cool.
Same boat as you. Watched it when I was a kid. That's why it's number 5. I had all these fond memories of it, and just like, oh my gosh, this movie is gonna be awesome. Sit back, press play, and I'm like, this is kind of awkward to watch. The dad, the dad and the mom were going through some things. They were arguing or whatever. So like the long story is this kid made up this whole thing in his mind, right? As he ran away to California, like eventually, spoiler if you haven't ever seen the movie, but like that's the underlying thing. It was like some fantasy realm made from Fred Savage's mind due to the fact that his mom and dad were going through things. Like that's what I got. And in classic 1980s fashion, there was some weird moments in there to watch, to actually sit there and watch the movie as an adult, When I was a kid, I loved the movie. Don't get me wrong. I loved the movie. It was a great movie. That's why it's on my list. But to sit there and watch the movie again, there was just like the writing for it was not great. Like
Yeah.
tickling Fred Savage, and he's like, stop on his bed. So that's one of the weird moments. Like if you guys watch and get a chance to see that movie and watch it again, because we were younger when we watched it. Now you rewatch it and you're like, maybe that scene shouldn't have been in this movie. Like that's what you're gonna ask yourself. But yeah,
right.
So,
Well, one of the things I've noticed from watching a lot of movies from my youth was the fact that a lot of these movies don't hold up. And this is something we can talk about. I want to actually get into this a little bit after we do our top 5.
Okay.
And I want to go through and see, which of these movies have you watched recently and have they held up very well? One thing I've noticed from the 80s movies, look at movies like Little Monsters and The Wizard and E.T. There's a lot of kids running away from home back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
It's like, and that was just kind of like an accepted thing. And now I watch these movies, like we watched The Wizard, and I'm like, how the hell are these parents, not freaking out because their kid's gone?
Yeah.
But in the movie, it was just like, oh, no big deal. He's fine. They never came to look for him. It was just accepted. So we don't want our kids watching these movies thinking that that's how it was back in the 80s and 90s. Kids ran away from home and it was fine.
Well, they don't understand that part. So coming from the kids' perspective, like they still see the magic of going under the bed and then traveling to a different realm or a different part of Earth because of being able to travel through the bed. You know what I mean? Like we understand like the underlying meaning of the story.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah. And Goonies was another one too that just came to mind. Kids kind of running away.
Yeah.
Having their adventures. It's not all about adventuring.
Yeah.
That stuff doesn't happen in real life. So, all right. Well, my number 5 is a movie called The Last Starfighter.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that one?
I think I have seen it.
It's been a really long time since I've seen it, but I just remember it being one of those movies that's just like awesome. Kind of fell into the same theme as like The Wizard. The kids playing an arcade game that's similar to like Asteroids or something like that. And he ends up getting the high score, and then these aliens come down and have him come and fight basically, as a starfighter. And I didn't realize this until I was kind of doing a little bit of research for the show, but that was one of the first films to use CGI.
Really?
To represent, yeah. And I thought that was really cool. Because it was 1984, and back then everything was all practical effects. You had like E.T. and you had Star Wars and you had all these other movies that all used practical effects. For them to have CGI back then, it's one of those movies that I really want to go back now and I want to watch it, just because it's been so long and I want to see how well it holds up.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's one of the first ones to use CGI. Remember what the year was on that?
1984.
1984. Wow.
Yeah, that was really early too, man. Yeah. Really early.
That's pretty freaking crazy right there. I didn't realize that. 1984, huh? So
yep.
computers, they actually advanced more than what we thought. They weren't just playing Pong.
Right. Yeah.
No, I know. I'm just playing. So, but yeah, Last Starfighter. I'm trying to remember, man. I've been sitting here trying to remember for the past couple minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't one of the more popular movies, but it was a Disney movie.
I think I actually seen it. I just can't remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think if you started watching, I think you'd remember it probably.
Okay.
All right, what's your number 4?
My number 4. My number 4 is more of a mainstream movie. It might be on your list, it might not, but it starred one Michael Keaton in an eclectic role that
I'm Batman.
that he went nuts and he straight up revived himself and brought himself from the depths of a model to wreak havoc on a family.
I know what you're talking about.
Name Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
Where's he at? Where's he at?
That is one of the greats, man. That is such a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you said Michael Keaton, I was thinking like, well, it's either Batman or it's Beetlejuice.
No, it could be what is it? Country bumpkin, whatever.
Huh? You talking about?
He had that country movie too in the '80s, City Slickers, right? It was cool. And who was the other? Was it him? Is that the right one?
That wasn't Michael Keaton. No, that was
Oh, I suck.
Oh, what the hell's his name? Curly haired guy. Oh my god, I can't think of it. I'd have to look it up. Billy Crystal, yeah. Yeah.
It was three of them. It was Christopher Walken. Was he in it? No.
Man, I'm terrible with movies. Terrible with actors. Awful. Here, let me IMDb it. IMDb is my best friend. Anytime I'm sitting down watching a movie, I instantly pull up the movie on IMDb.
Yeah.
And okay, City Slickers, 1991. It was Jack Palance, Daniel Stern, Billy Crystal, Bruno Kirby. I don't know who that is. But I think those were the. Oh, Daniel Stern was the guy from Home Alone. He was the tall, bad guy.
Yeah. I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. One of my other favorite Michael Keaton movies that didn't make my list because it was actually I think like mid-90s was Multiplicity. Have you seen that one?
Yes.
Where he makes the clones of himself, and then the clone of the clone is
the very inept handicapped one because he himself 2 times.
You can't make a clone of a clone.
The clone gets pissed off and he makes a clone of him. And then well, I want a clone of my clone.
Right. That was such a great movie, man. That is just Face Off. Were the two movies that you watched and you're like, it just really shows how good of an actor he is. Now I know he wasn't in Face Off, but I'm just using that as an example. But I mean, to be able to play 4 different roles is just amazing, because you had like the first clone, which is like the very manly testosterone guy, manly man. And you had the second one, which is very, very effeminate, kind of very opposite of the first one.
Yeah.
And then, the clone of the clone. That's just a great movie.
It was. It was the clone of the clone of the clone. That guy was my favorite.
Oh, mine too. Yeah, he's got those. He's nailing his boots to those 2x4s. He got the goggles on. Yeah. Oh my god, dude, that was so funny. Okay, you did your number 4. Mine was.
I thought yours was Multiplicity.
No. I was just saying my Michael Keaton. We were just talking about Michael Keaton movies.
All right, we're getting off course here.
Yeah, getting a little bit off. Back on track.
Okay.
It's a little movie. I'm not sure if you ever heard of it. Starred a guy, not well-known guy by the name of Mark Hamill. Star Wars. Have you heard of that one? And I couldn't narrow it down to one just because it was. I mean, probably The New Hope. I think is probably my favorite, that was actually a '70s movie, but me growing up in the '80s, I watched it a lot in the '80s.
Yeah, technically the Star Wars trilogy, the original trilogy, it builds into the '80s. Yes, the first one came out in '77, but like everything else after that came out in the '80s, right? '79 was.
I think '79, and then 82, something like that.
2 or 83, but the
yeah.
Excuse me. The toy line is really what set that off, and that it was all in the '80s.
Yeah.
79.
Yeah, the Kenner toys.
Yeah, Kenner released the first 12, and then they didn't release anything for a while, and like I said, it's just skyrocketing. I've been watching some stuff on eBay because, I'm wrapping up the He-Man stuff, so we're gonna move into the Star Wars. I know I don't have enough room in this 10 by 10 cell to house Star Wars.
But you know what the cool thing about the Star Wars stuff is, and this is what I did at our old house, is like the Millennium Falcon, the X-Wing fighters, the TIE fighters, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I hung them from fishing string to the ceiling.
Okay.
So you don't need a whole lot of shelf space because those things take up a ton of shelf space, especially the Millennium Falcon. I mean, it's huge. But I kind of hung them in like a battle action. It's pretty cool.
Okay. Sorry, I got something going on out in the main part of my shop. My air conditioner is making some funny noises.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Is it, Hayden? Is it making? It's making funny noises, right? All right. Looks like I might need some maintenance here.
Well, I can help you out with that after the show.
All right. HVAC.
Kind of what I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3. What you got?
My number three would be, so this one was a testament to a brother loves brother saga. And by saga, I mean only 130 minutes of it. And
Brother loves brother.
Brother, it was brother for brother, not brother against brother.
Oh, not brother on brother.
Yeah.
Because that's weird.
It did star a couple extras in there that you might not know unless you're outside of this realm and you went and kick pushed when you were a kid. Meaning by kick push, if you ever put your butt on a skateboard and kicked yourself down the street, then you know everything I'm talking about right now when I say Tony Hawk, Rob Burnquist, Daewon Song, some other kids, but it was a movie I'm not 100% sure if you're going to be down with because we go into these realms or whatever. Like I said, they're eclectic, but it was a movie called Gleam in the Cube.
I've never heard of it. Gleaming the Cube?
Gleaming the Cube.
No, I can't say I've ever heard of that one. So it was a skateboard movie?
It starred Christian Slater, and so the whole premise of the movie is some stuff went on with his brother. He's got to protect his brother's dignity. He's going to fight these guys or whatever, and expose them for the evil that they are and all that crap. And it was just a great movie from back in the day, when I was a kid. Like, because I was a big time skater. I actually still am. My kid's got like 3 skateboards in his room. I made him skateboard sconces on the sides of his bed. Like, yeah. Like, I love all this stuff that we do in here, playing video games and playing with toys and stuff, but, like, there's nothing like riding a skateboard to me or a snowboard.
I was going to say, I can tell, the whole snowboard thing you got going on in the background there is kind of gives it away.
Yeah. It's right there. Like, there ain't nothing like it. That's my kid's capita right there behind the chair. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we're a big snowboarding, skateboarding family. So,
nice. On
top of all of this, yes, like that.
Well, what year was that movie? Do you know off the top of your head?
Yeah, I got it all written down. It was 1980. Where did I put it? I think 1986.
And Tony Hawk, huh?
Yeah, Tony Hawk was an extra in it. Well,
he was a young sprite back then, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and they worked for Pizza Hut. Like at the end of that was the big sponsor for the movie. Like,
nice.
Pulls up the Pizza Hut and like everybody plows into this truck in front of a Pizza Hut. It's pretty funny, man. Tony Hawk has scars. Like he has scars from being an extra on that movie. Like he wasn't like a big he was a big known name in the skateboarding industry, but like he wasn't like through the roof yet. And the movie didn't make him through the roof. His skating made him through the roof, but like the movie, like he did some stuff with Christian Slater a few years ago, like reminiscing over Gleam of the Cube, and he actually has a scar on his wrist and on his rib from that movie. Because originally, when you're watching the movie, Tony Hawk and the big end scene or whatever like that, Tony Hawk's driving the truck, and all the skaters are on his flanks as they're coming down this big hill, right? And they didn't have enough skaters to skate down the hill with the amount of skaters they had or whatever, so they needed Tony. Like, Tony was filmed driving the truck for the filming part, but then when it came to showing the skaters going down the hill, he was skating down the hill as well.
Oh, that's really cool, man.
He wiped out.
That's cool. It's neat, the stuff that you find out. You know, you watch these movies, you love these movies, but then you come to find out all these neat little tidbits about these movies as you're older.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, stuff that's relevant to now. You know, like Tony Hawk and stuff. It's really cool. Really cool. It'll surprise you sometimes.
What was your number 3?
My number 3 is a little movie about a very dark night. And a very funny man with a very big smile. Have you ever danced in the devil with by the pale moonlight?
Yeah.
Still one of the best Batman movies ever, dude. I mean, I'm not big into the whole Dark Knight stuff, you know, the newer movies, but
I love them.
My God, I love that Batman movie. I think it was 89, if I remember off the top of my head. 89 or 90, I think, when it came out.
I hate Christian Bale, but I love the Dark Knight series. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. All right. Michael.
I'm not a big fan of DC comic characters. I'm not, you know, obviously I watched Superman as a kid. All the Superman, the Christopher Reeve movies were awesome. Batman was one of those movies, though, man. Me and my brother, I remember the summer it came out, we went to the theater and watched it, and we just basically stayed in the theater. I think we watched it 3 times in a row. They never kicked us out or anything because, you know, we were kids. Our dad drops us off, and, you know, we were there, you know, I'll come pick you up at this time. Like, well, heck, we still got a couple hours. Let's watch it again. Then the movie came out on VHS, and I wore that movie out, man. Every day after school, I'd come home, I'd pop that movie in, and it was one of those movies that I knew every line word for word when I was a kid. Such a good movie.
Yeah. It is a good movie. It is a good movie. Actually just picked up that game yesterday.
That's a good game too. That was one of the games that I was pretty fond of on the NES as well. Very, very hard game.
Yeah.
But I do remember we beat it once, and now I was watching on like videos of people playing it through on YouTube, and it was just really cool. Like, hey, I remember having to do that jump and jump back across and then throw your hook and catch it and swing, and I don't know. It just brought back a lot of memories.
That's
so
to change your weapons, kind of like pressing select to change your weapons. It was kind of like unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was playing it this morning.
Yeah, it was a good game too. Yep, good movie, good game. So, one of my favorites. Like I said, I'm more of a Marvel guy, but I love the Michael Keaton Batman. Love the Jack Nicholson Joker, and you can't go wrong with Kim Basinger too.
Right.
It was just good.
Yeah.
So, all right, number 2.
Number 2. Harry and the Hendersons.
John Lithgow is one of my all-time favorite actors.
Yeah.
And I loved that movie too. That was such a good movie. But John Lithgow himself was just awesome.
So we talk about this all the time, the practical versus CGI. The practical effects in that movie are second to fucking none. Like, you still watch that movie today and you see Harry, you're just like, what? Like, his facial expressions, his just like everything. It was freaking amazing, man. Like, it's a great movie. It's still a great movie to this day.
It is. I always wondered how they did that. You know, the what do they call that? Animatronics or whatever, the facial expressions and all that stuff. It's amazing. And the guy that played Harry, he was, I got to look him up. Oh, he was the guy that played the Predator. He was in the Predator suit.
Okay.
Super big guy. I mean, this guy was huge. I think he actually passed away. Yeah, 91 said he passed away. But, I mean, the guy was just, I mean, he was just enormous. I mean, you see how big he was as Harry. I mean, he was that big.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no platform shoes or anything like that. He was just a big guy.
Jesus. Yeah. When Harry pushes up the threshold or whatever, the center of the door in the movie. Just like
Yeah.
he didn't like hitting his head, and he's like, push that whole thing up. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was such a good one. Yeah, that was a good movie, dude. Like I said, I love John Lithgow. He's such a good actor. Third Rock from the Sun is one of my favorite all-time TV shows.
To see that kid from Third Rock from the Sun in the newest Batman, you know what I mean? Like that's awesome. Like
he's in the newest Batman?
Yeah, dude.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes, he's the cop. He's Dick Grayson.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
He's like at the end of the movie. They're like, she's like, I really like your real name, and Robin, and he's like, yeah, nobody's called me that for years. Like,
oh no shit, he's gonna play Robin, huh? Dick Grayson. Like I said, I haven't seen. The last Batman movie I saw was, The Dark Knight, I guess. Right? It was the first one with what's his name? What?
Bale.
Yeah, that one. That was the last one that I've seen. But it was the first one with him.
Yeah.
So it's been a while.
The Dark Knight Rises, The Dark Knight Rises, and then Jesus. Oh my goodness, I'm horrible right now. Let me look. I have all of them. I'm a big fan of them. So The Dark Knight Rises, and where the hell are all my movies? Why aren't all my movies showing on here? This sucks. I apologize.
It was the new one with Heath, or the newer one with Heath Ledger. Is that the one you're thinking of?
It's not newer. The new one with so Dark Knight Rises is the last one. That's the one with Heath Ledger, or not Heath Ledger. Tom Hardy as Bane.
Mm-hmm.
Because he rises. The only reason I remember that is because he rises from the pit or whatever. Like he comes back up from nothing. Why aren't all my videos showing on here? Because I own all of them and all the Star Wars and all that crap on my Fandango Now. Fandango Now, where you go to buy movies.
Mm-hmm. Little plug there. Pay us.
Pay it. I'm all about Fandango Now, man. Like my friends are all about like fire stick this, fire stick that. I'm like, nah, man. Nah, Fandango Now. You own it, you own it. But yeah, there's The Dark Knight. Fuck. Why can I not remember this? Why am I drawing a blank?
Just Google. You got a computer in front of you.
Well, I don't like typing.
So let me ask you this while you're looking that up. Are you a DC or a Marvel fan?
So there is a I love Batman, don't get me wrong. I love Superman. But there's something about the Marvel Universe and the way that they've built it is just like fucking awesome. You know what I mean?
Right. But even before the Marvel Universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Batman Begins was the first one. Jesus, why am I drawing a...
Oh, yeah, that's right. And then The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight, and then
Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah. Why would... Yeah, the only one they call him Batman in is the first one.
Okay. Yeah.
In the title.
Mm-hmm.
So everything else is The Dark Knight, off the same Dark Knight novel. And like in The Dark Knight, it's like a lot more gruesome than the original Batman series.
And I think that's kind of what turned me off to it was the no pun intended, the darkness of it. I'm used to the Tim Burton Batman, where it was kind of kitschy and kind of campy, but yet, still got the story across. It was just, I don't know, had a little bit of everything to it, Like, I don't think there's ever been a better Joker. Well, there again, I haven't seen the new one, but for what I've seen of it, I I don't think there could ever be a better Joker than Jack Nicholson. It's like he was just one of those guys. He was born to play that role.
Yeah. Well, and this is where we have to disagree. I do like Heath Ledger as the Joker, and you need to unbiasedly go back and rewatch that and just, like every time he tells the story of how he got the scars on his face, it's a different story. It's just it's the place that Heath Ledger was in. That's probably why, like, I guess that's why everybody committed suicide, is because he was on all these pills and he put himself in a dark room to make himself the Joker. Like his portrayal of the Joker. I love Jack Nicholson's character as Joker. Don't get me wrong. He was the greatest until Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger, I think, definitely soared above and beyond my standards of the Joker.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I like I said, I haven't seen the Heath Ledger movie, but from what I've seen, I'm just a fan of the Tim Burton style. I did see the Suicide Squad, and I wasn't really a fan of the Jared Leto Joker. It just wasn't traditional enough for me. Now, I don't know the whole story of his Joker, as far as like compared to the comic book or whatever, or the graphic novel, but it just wasn't really Joker to me.
Yeah, he wasn't. Like I didn't like his Joker either. To be honest with you, I didn't like it either.
Yeah. Okay, we're at number 2. Or wait, was that your number 2? I'm lost here.
Harry and the Henderson was my number 2.
Oh, okay. All right. My number 2 was one that we just spoke about, and that is Big Trouble in Little China.
Good one.
Mr. Bats and Jack Burton. Oh man, that was awesome. One of the best movies, man. It's great.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the first movies for Kim. What's her name from the Sex and the City? Cattrall. Kim Cattrall.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the guy that played Lopan, God, I see him in everything. He is in so much. And every time I see him, I'm like, hey, it's Lopan.
Yeah.
He will always be Lopan to me.
Yeah, and then that marked the. You remember all the '80s movies, right? So what was it? Well, let's just go off. Like, so all of the Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, all of the Sylvester Stallone movies, all of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. If you noticed, and if you paid attention, all of the bad guys, like the groups of bad guys, whenever they get swarmed with bad guys, it was the same bad guys. And Little China was the pinnacle of, like, he highlighted, like, the fucking Asian dude. So, like, Danny Trejo wasn't in it, but so, like, if you think about Danny Trejo nowadays as being one of the bad guys, this Asian dude, he was like the big buff dude or whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, the guy that played the Raiden guy. Yeah.
So, like, all of them, like every '80s movies had like they had like, all right, let's get our bad guys in. Here's your bad guy.
They were they were typecast. I mean, all those guys were typecast, and you always saw the guy that played Lopan. He's always the bad guy. He's always like an Asian mafia guy, or he's some sort of bad guy or something like that. Yeah. I mean, like Joe Pesci is another one of those guys. He's always a bad guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Yeah, they kind of all loop together. It's like, well, here's a list of guys that
Perfect to play.
Actors. Yeah, here's a list of actors that are normally bad guys. So.
Good Lord.
Yeah. But God, Kurt Russell was he was like the guy of the 80s anyway. We had Big Trouble in Little China. He had Escape from okay, I get them mixed up. Escape from New York.
Escape from LA.
Escape to LA or Escape from LA, whatever it was. Snake Plissken. Yeah. I mean, he was just one of the biggest badasses. Yeah. And then he played Well, Overboard. You know, the one with God, Goldie Hawn. Or was it Goldie Hawn?
On, yeah.
Was it Goldie Hawn or Meg? Yeah, it was Goldie Hawn.
They look the same.
Yeah, it's like the same. He always played that kind of same character. It's very laid back and cool. You know, it's kind of like Harrison Ford's the same way. He always played that very laid back, cool, just kind of whatever, go with the flow kind of guy. You know. I'll never forget my son was watching Indiana Jones, and he goes, "Dad, that's Han Solo." Like, yeah, that is.
Yeah, good kid. I'm glad.
That's right.
Oh.
All right, we are down to our number one.
Yep, and I need to take a short break. You're like, what?
No, we can take it. We can take a real quick break.
Yeah.
We'll just keep it live for just a couple minutes, and we will be right back. So I'm going to mute my mic here. I'm going to go do something real quick. I'll be back in about 1 minute. You too? All right. All right. We'll be right back, guys. Hang on.
Be back. Talk about get back at the exact same
Good timing. Good timing.
timing.
All right. Just in time for our number one. Numero uno.
Who can edit this perfectly? That's
I'm telling you.
except for the people watching live.
Yeah, that's all right. They probably had to take a pee break too.
Yeah. Totally.
Okay, what is your number one movie?
My number one. My number uno is The Lost Boys.
Lost Boys. What a great movie.
Yes.
Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland's awesome.
Bauer.
Yeah, and that was one of the other guys was
Diners.
wasn't he the guy from Bill and Ted?
Wait, no. Think about this, all right? Has anyone watched what's it called? It's what's the name of the town? Wayward Pines.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Season 2.
He's in what?
Season 2. He's the main antagonist, and not he's an antagonist. He's
Antagonist, the bad guy.
not a bad guy. He's
Protagonist.
protagonist. Yeah, he's the main. He like comes in. He's a doctor, and he's looking for his wife or whatever. And
Oh yeah.
he's the main dude. He's the guy that turns into a vampire. Again, he's like the protagonist against them. But then again, you have Corey Haim, right?
Corey Haim and I can't think. Okay, I gotta look up IMDb it because I can't think of the other guy's name too.
Corey Feldman, the Coreys.
Well, yeah, no, I'm talking about one of the other vampires. It was
Yeah, the main guy that was seducing the mother that you didn't know until the end.
yeah, no, not him. He was one of the kids. No, that's not who I'm thinking of. Never mind. I was thinking for some reason, I don't know why I thought it had the guy, the older kid from the Goonies, like the brother, the older brother or whatever.
No,
That's not it.
Wayward Pines. The Wayward
Yeah.
Pines guy is not. It's not him from Goonies. But now that we've said that, that is one of my honorable mentions.
The Goonies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's definitely one of those classics.
Yeah, but like put it up there because everybody's like, "Oh, the Goonies, man!" Like, I want to put ones that people don't think about on a daily basis when they think about the '80s. So,
Jason Patrick. Yeah, that was.
Wayward Pines
Yeah.
shows him Wayward Pines. He's not in the Goonies.
No, I don't know what was the kid's name. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's not who I'm thinking of anyway.
It's all good, man. Name.
Yeah. That's a good one. Okay, my number one is, and I don't know, you may not have ever heard of this. It's a pretty obscure movie. Like, really, I'm not messing around now. It's called Crawl. Have you ever seen that movie? Crawl. Krull.
Crawl.
Yeah, it's kind of a.
It's a cult classic, dude.
You've seen it?
Well, I know it's a cult classic. How about that?
Yeah. Oh, it definitely is, man. And it's one of my favorites. It was 1983. It's kind of like a sci-fi / fantasy mixed together. But what I didn't realize until somewhat recently, actually, is that it was the first movie with Liam Neeson, and he plays one of the like bandits that the main guy gets to come and like help fight the fight against the bad guys, the Beast. That they're going after the Beast.
All right.
But it was one of his first roles in a movie.
Okay.
But he's got this thing. It's called a glaive, and it looks like a long-fingered Chinese star. It's like 5. And when he holds it up, these blades shoot out the end of it. These come out the end of it like a switchblade, and then he can throw it. And he can actually control it with his hand. He does like this, and he controls it, so he can get it to go around and kill the guys and all that stuff. And I remember as a kid watching this movie, I used to go get cardboard boxes, and I would make my own glaive, and play with them and stuff. It's a good movie, though. Definitely a cult classic. It is kind of cheesy, but it's I don't know. It's a good movie, though. It's definitely my top one from when I was a kid, because it was probably the movie that I watched the most.
Yeah.
Besides Star Wars.
Right. Who doesn't watch Star Wars over and over and over and over again? Not this guy. I love Star Wars.
And not that piece of shit remastered one with all the new CGI, Jabba the Hutt, and all that other crap that George Lucas threw into it and ruined it.
Yep. My mom did locate those VHS tapes. I will be watching those. So.
Nice. You got a VHS player?
Yeah.
Do you have a VCR?
Yeah, I do. You're like, I do. I know shit have a VCR sitting on my fireplace hearth right now because I come to find out the Nintendo fucking Zapper doesn't work on flat screen TVs.
Right. Yep.
I was like, what the fuck? I'm like trying to shoot. The dog's laughing at me. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm hitting it.
You look up on YouTube or just Google it, how the Zapper works. And I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's really intriguing how the Zapper actually works. Because, when you pull the trigger, you see the screen kind of flash real quick.
Yep.
And it's like when it flashes really quick black, and I guess there's a white square where you hit, and that's how it knows where you hit or something like that. It's really cool.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I'm not really sure what it is about the CRT TVs, you know, the tube TVs that makes it work where the LEDs doesn't. I'm not really sure.
I wonder if they're going to ever make an adapter to make that work, because I've even tried it with my new Retron whatever thing, and the zapper doesn't work on my flat screen with that either. And it's got a little infrared thing on the bottom of it. You're supposed to put it at the bottom of the TV. Still doesn't fucking work.
Really? Oh. Yeah, you would think that 8-Bit though is one of the companies that makes a lot of the controllers that you can retrofit, so you can have a wireless controller. You know, it's got the 4 buttons on the right with even the bumpers on the top, left and right. They make them for the Nintendo, the Super NES, stuff like that. And I'm surprised that they haven't come out with something like that for the zapper for the old NES.
Well, maybe,
you know, it would be easy to do. You just need a sensor.
Well, it's got the red sensor at the bottom of it, because I got the handheld one, so you just stick the batteries in it. Don't even need to hook it up to the TV. You can actually watch your gameplay, like, so you can watch 8-Bit gameplay, the Battletoads or whatever, on it. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it has a little sensor on the bottom of it. Excuse me. And you actually like put it, and you can actually like see the game as you go, or you plug it into your TV, right? So there's the
Oh yeah, nice, man. I gotta get one of those.
thing like this, but then on the bottom of it, it has this little sensor area, right?
Yeah.
On it, it shows a little red light right here, and it still doesn't pick up the zapper. And I've put it at the base of the TV, like with you know, Duck Hunt in there, and it shit don't work. So the only way Duck Hunt works is with a legit boob tube sitting there and playing it. That or Hogan's Alley, because I got Hogan's Alley too. So.
Oh yeah.
So do you have any honorable mentions?
I mean, we pretty well covered the gambit, I believe. We covered Goonies.
I have 2 more honorable mentions, because like you, I was like at a toss for like, what do I want to put in my list? And I do want to mention these ones because they're pretty important to me.
Okay.
You're like,
You have the floor, sir.
So okay, thank you very much, kind sir. Dog, quit scratching at the door. I'll see you in a little bit.
Quit licking your nuts.
The door, they want in. So the next one, the one that I need to put on here, it's a movie called Solar Babies. You remember watching that at all?
No, I don't.
Struggle at an apocalyptic Earth. The year was 20-something, and water was the currency, and you couldn't do anything without running through this like roller derby type deal, like field hockey. And there's a younger boy. He finds this like orb thing, right? That like magical orb, and it's supposed to lead him to this, you know, to this promised land and all that shit. And his name is Bodai. And Solar Babies. It was like, it was trying to be sci-fi, and you know, it's coming off of fucking Star Wars and Kroll, Star Trek was out there, all this stuff, but it's trying to be sci-fi with roller skates and hockey sticks, you know.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah, Solar Babies.
Solar Babies, yeah.
Director is Alan Johnson. It was released in November 26th, 1986. And then a shout out to my own hometown, Spokane, Washington. Little movie called Vision Quest.
I've heard of it. I don't think I've ever seen it though.
It's a movie about a wrestler, and like he has to end up being the best in the nationals, all that stuff. Like, he had to shoot McGavin, and he had to watch out for him. And just like, man, this movie was one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid, especially because I went to the same fucking high school and I wrestled in the same gym. Like, it's amazing, you know. It's just like, this gym had no windows. We had it was like a little pit gym. Like, it was small. It wasn't for anything but like calisthenics or wrestling or like weightlifting, stuff like that. There was no windows there. There was no nothing. We had the basketball court, big gym on the other side. We had the 2 locker rooms that emptied into this gym, and you could go out to the other gym or go to the main gym from the locker room. Like it was the 1950s. It was freaking awesome. Like that. My high school growing up was pretty freaking awesome.
That's cool, man. Yeah, Vision Quest. I'll have to look that one up too. The only one I can think of that would be a honorable mention would be Flight of the Navigator. Did you ever see that one? I think it was another Disney movie.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yep.
Paul Rubin played the voice. I never realized this until later on, but Paul Rubin, Pee Wee Herman, played the voice of the spaceship, basically.
Okay.
And it had Sarah Jessica Parker in it too, as probably one of her first roles, I guess, because it was like 1986. So she would have been, I don't know, she probably would have been like, I don't know, a teenager or something at that point.
Okay.
Late teens, maybe.
Okay.
Old horse face herself, as I like to call her.
She was so hot, Sarah Jessica Parker.
Why the long face?
You're Sarah Jessica Parker. That's why. That's at the door.
What's up, puppy dog?
Yeah. Roxy, come on. Oh, God. Yep. She's my baby.
All right. You want to get to your unboxing?
Yes, we can. As soon as
Let's do it.
face. Go over there and lay down. Lay down. Good girl. Good girl, Roxy. Okay, so like I told you earlier, I picked up a couple more, and we'll unbox them. But this is a toy that I think is amazing in the fact that they finally have made a toy, well, should I feel so, worthy of my approval.
It's got the man-at-arms stamp of approval, folks.
Man-at-arms stamp of approval. So they came out with it. They're doing the same thing that they did in the 80s. It's another retro toy rebirthed into the 2000 era. So we're pushing 2017. This show was released on Netflix, and now we have in our hands, available at your fine retailers everywhere, the Voltron action figure.
Ooh, that's nice.
So we have the Black Lion here. This is the one we're going to open up and take a quick look at. And then today, because of popularity, I picked up the blue and the red line. So
nice. Only missing a couple.
Yeah. Well, because I was trying to find them the other day, and I was like, me and Hayden were out just looking at stuff, whatnot, and I noticed I couldn't find the blue or the red lion, and I knew where the blue and the red lion were here, so I picked them up. And now we only have one half of Voltron. I think it's his right half. Yeah, his right. We have his whole right. So
did you get those at Toys R Us?
No, I actually got them at Target.
Oh, nice. Those are a lot bigger than the original ones. A lot bigger.
Yeah, they are pretty big. So Voltron stands pretty tall now. And it looks like I don't even have to cut tape on this. So I might.
Because I think the original one, if I remember right, he was only about 10 inches tall, something like that, 10 or 12. I mean, he wasn't super big.
He was pretty tall though, you know.
Well, not compared to that one. I bet that thing stands probably 12, 14 inches high.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll get them all together, you know what I mean? There's some couple pieces of tape that you got to do here. So I'm getting just the tape cut from around the top here, without really damaging the box, because I still do want to have the box in regular working order. So there is the Black Lion's the big one. He has some he does some phrases.
Oh, he talks, huh?
Yeah. So you pull him out of the box there. He's got some zip ties against his back to hold him in there. some plastic coverings over his leg pieces, which turn into his arms. It doesn't seem too bad here. Okay. Let's go ahead and, oh man. I don't know, man. I just don't want to, like, I like taking him out of his box, but I don't want to fuck it up too much. We're just cutting along where the tape is, so this pieces will just pop right out. So, are there any more toy shows coming up over there, Adam?
July 9th, so in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today, I'll be at the toy show. And they've actually opened up the second level, like the mezzanine up above too. So I'm thinking this is the first time they've done that.
Really?
So it's going to be, I think it's going to be big. Yeah, I think, man, I'm excited. I am so excited. Everybody's probably tired of hearing me talk about it, but damn, I can't wait.
Yeah. Shit, man. Hopefully it is big, and hopefully everything is as exciting as you hope it is. You know, like I wish I could be there. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would like, as I'm pulling these little pieces off here, to go and see that stuff. Let's see.
So did you know, for all those listening, I live in the St. Louis area. Well, I live in the outskirts, way outskirts of St. Louis. But St. Louis actually has a special tie to Voltron. They had God, I think it was like 12 or 15 foot tall Voltron statue down in one part of St. Louis City.
Really?
Yeah, whenever Voltron re-aired on Netflix, because this guy named Ted Koppler, he owned World Events Productions, and that was based here in St. Louis. And he was one of the original people. He bought the rights for Voltron to be aired in the U.S. from the Japanese, from Japan.
Yeah.
So they, I guess, in commemoration of the new Netflix series, they erected a statue of Voltron. It was pretty cool. I don't know if it's still there. I'll have to get down there sometime soon and see if it's still there, but probably not. I think it was just they just had it down there for like a couple weeks or something like that.
Oh, wow. I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, God.
It'll destroy you.
Ooh, destroyed me.
Yeah. So, here we go. There's some snap hideaways for his feet and all that good stuff. Don't really know what I'm doing here. I want to mess it up. There we go. So
Let's assemble Voltron and get rid of these Gora.
Assemble it. Assemble Voltron.
So there you go. There is the Black Lion.
Very cool.
We will save the universe.
So his wings come out and do the whole thing right there. I don't know how his head comes out yet without reading the instructions. No press buttons there. His neck doesn't switch around or anything. Let's see here. Just probably read the instructions. But yeah.
Cool. We'll have to post. Make sure you post pictures on the Facebook page too. Once you get it all together, or at least once you get what you have together, post a picture of it so everybody can see it. So if you're listening to the audio version on iTunes, make sure you go check out our Facebook page and you can see what we're talking about. Or you can watch the video on YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel, just search Masters of the Retroverse, and you can find us there, and you can see what he's playing with.
Yep. This is pretty awesome. I'm gonna be playing with it for a while here.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, why is his foot not going in? I got two other lions too, but yeah, it's actually it's pretty rigid. It's pretty it's not like doing it.
It looks a lot more intricate too than the original.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty sweet.
Guy comes up. All right, I got him.
Cool.
Yep. All right.
All right.
That's what I'm playing with it. It's the other side of his toys.
Well, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the show because we're pushing on time here.
All right.
But I want to thanks everyone for hanging out with us. If you're listening to audio podcasts, like I said, make sure to check out our YouTube channel. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, and then you turn on notifications. You can find out when we're going live, and you can chat with us live. You know, we're doing the weekly thing now, so usually Fridays and Sundays are the 2 days. So just keep an eye out on your notifications on YouTube for when we are going to go live, and you can come hang out with us. Audio podcasts can be found on iTunes as usual. As I mentioned before, you can find us on Google Play now, and wherever else you get your podcasts, all those podcast apps, everything but Stitcher, because screw you, Stitcher. You find us on Facebook. Just search Masters of the Retroverse. You'll find us there with all kinds of pictures and videos and all kinds of fun stuff that we post. You can find us on Twitter if you're on there. You can find us at MOT Retro, and make sure to go check out some of our fellow Facebook groups too. We've got a couple, I guess you call them sponsors. We're doing some cross promotion with some of these Facebook groups, and the one is 90s Marvel / Toy Biz Collectors. Just search that on Facebook. You'll find that group if you're into the X-Men, or any of the Toy Biz line, especially mostly the X-Men stuff. Go check that out. They've got some really cool stuff. And the other one is Vintage 80s Toys. Another really great Facebook group. Buy, sell, talk about anything vintage 80s. It's really cool. Oh, nice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
There's a space.
There it is. A lot different than what I remember back in the day.
Yeah.
Still pretty cool, though.
It's the only thing that can stop Zarkon.
We will stop Zarkon. And I guess that's it for us, guys. So we will see you next week with a brand new show, video and audio. And you got anything else before we go?
No, I'm good, man.
Okay, cool. All right, well, we're going to wrap this up, and we will see you guys next week.
All right. Take it easy.
See ya.